Okay, hey guys, Coach Jason here. So today's video, I'm going to focus on some additional workouts that will put you in a position to achieve a sub 4-hour marathon. Now, if you want to see a detailed training program, look down in the description below. I have a 16-week breakdown on how to achieve a sub 4-hour marathon, and how everything's broken down, blocks of 4 weeks for periodization purposes, and you'll see the progression from one block to the next to the next to the next. So if you're a coach, you're an athlete, I highly encourage you to take a look at them. And I want to go over these workouts because I highly encourage you to consider these if you're not using workouts like these already. These are great interchangeable workouts you can plug in and out of a program like down below. They're also repeatable workouts. They're things that you could repeat every couple of weeks, depending on how you feel is most appropriate to lay out your training or the training of your athletes. But these are workouts that I have used for my athletes to get women and men under 4 hours, as well as 3 hours and 3:30 and so on. And so let's get to it. Okay, the first workout is 800-meter intervals. This is generally what I call speed development for the marathon. Okay, it's important to kind of run a little bit faster as well. It's also important to add basic speed development from short, fast strides, which you will see in my marathon training programs as well. And I do have a sub 4, sub 3:30, sub 3 hours, and sub 2:30 marathon training programs on my channel. So if you want to take a look at those programs as well, click the subscribe button and click the bell next to it, okay? Because I also have half marathon programs, sub 2 hours, sub 145, sub 130, sub 115, 12-week detailed programs, week by week, day by day, broken down completely, okay? So anyway, let's get back to this. 800-meter intervals. This is a workout that I generally like to plug in or do 3 times, okay? Now, when you're training for the 4-hour marathon, it's generally a workout that you will do the first time for 6 reps, the second time about 3 or 4 weeks later for 8 reps, and the third time 3 or 4 weeks after that for 10 reps, okay? The pace, or the appropriate pace for a sub 4-hour marathon, is 3:53 to 3:50 per rep. Yes, it's fast at a marathon pace, but they are shorter reps. These are intervals, so they're not going to be done at short intervals, so they're not going to be done at marathon pace, okay? So again, they're between 3:53 and 3:50 per rep. You take a 2-minute recovery after each one, okay? And afterward, on the back end, we're going to add a 5-kilometer effort, 1 5K at your goal marathon pace, okay? The idea is to get you running marathon pace when you're already fatigued after having done some kind of workout or long run or so on. You need to know what it feels like to run your goal marathon pace at any point in time, because you're going to have to run 26 miles at that average in order to get under 4 hours for the marathon, which is approximately 9:06 to 9:07 per mile. So in this case, it's 9:06 to 9 minutes per mile for the 5K increment. And I like to give a little bit of margin of error. So I generally, for folks that I train for a sub 4, generally train them for a 3:55 or 3:56. A little bit of margin of error to account for the deceleration that generally happens during a marathon, particularly in case if you're not ready. So it's just a thing to keep, in mind. So again, 6 by 800 meters, and then a 5K on the back end of marathon pace the first time. 8 by 800 meters with a 2-minute recovery, and then a 5K on the back end this the second time, and then 10 by 800 meters with a 5K on the back end the third time. Okay, that's the progression there. All right. Now remember, if you run about a 4:30 marathon recently and your next goal is 4 hours, then obviously you want to progress. You want to make sure you're training at the right training paces all along the way. You're not going to just jump into 4-minute or 4-hour training pace immediately. So I'll also attach a video down below. How do you know you're training at the appropriate training paces as well, and how to establish the right training paces based on a race performance or a time trial. Okay, so take a look at that video as well to make sure that you're training where you need to be at that time to help you keep progressing to achieve your goal. All right, so let's go to number 2. VO2 max intervals, okay, or VO2 max mile repeats. So in this case, it's 5 to 6 reps. I know it's not a lot of reps, but they're significantly faster than marathon pace. With a 3-minute recovery, the rep's going to be done between 7:48 and 7:45 per mile. Okay, it's fast. It's a little bit slower than your 800-meter reps, but still significantly faster than marathon pace. If you were doing 7 or 8 or 9 reps, it would be with a much shorter recovery, probably 90 seconds to a 2-minute recovery at a slower pace. But in this case, it's VO2 max intervals, and 5 to 6 reps is generally the max. Okay, so 7:48 to 7:45 with a 3-minute recovery. This is also a workout that you can repeat several times every couple of weeks, every 3 weeks or so, and progress towards those paces. Okay, and these paces are indicative of a sub 4-hour marathon fitness. Okay. Number 3, at the back end to the interval miles, 7 to 8 times threshold mile. Okay. 90-second recovery, and they're 8:30 to 8:25, so about 30 to 40 seconds slower than marathon pace, as opposed to, 30 to 40 seconds faster than marathon pace instead of a minute 15 faster than marathon pace. Okay, so again, 7 to 8 times the threshold mile, 90-second recovery, 8:30 to 8:25. It's also a workout that you can repeat as well, and you will see progressions in threshold training in my marathon plans. Number 4. This is a good workout. It's a good simulator. 10 miles. Okay, 10-mile effort. You do a 2 or 3 mile warm-up. You do a 2 or 3 mile cool down. So you get 14 to 16 miles for the day. But the 10-mile segment itself, this is a workout that you repeat 3 times as well. Okay, and maybe every 3 or 4 weeks. And I do encourage you to give yourself 16 weeks to train for a marathon. Okay, you can do it in less than 12, but the idea is to not only get you fit and ready, but fit enough to recover well on the back end. Okay. So the less you do leading up to the marathon, a little bit of a longer you'll need for the recovery in the back end. You still need recovery, obviously, but the better you will feel because the more prepared you are for the marathon. So anyway, 10 miles. The first time you do it is at goal marathon pace. So in this case, it's, let's say 9:06 to 9 minutes per mile. The second time you do it is at goal marathon pace minus 5 seconds per mile. So it'll be 9:01 to 8:55 per mile. And then the third time you do it, it's marathon pace minus 10 seconds per mile, so it'll be 8:56 to 8:50 per mile. It's a progression in your fitness, okay? And again, you give it, every 3 to 4 weeks, and what you do in between those is also important. So another progression workout. Number 5, 1,000-meter reps, okay? A good staple of a lot of training, okay? This is similar to that, except the reps are longer. So now it's 10 times 1,000, okay, with a 2-minute recovery at half marathon pace, which in this case is at 8:49 to 8:45 per mile is the pace, all right? And then on the back end, you run a 5K at marathon pace, which is a goal marathon pace, which is 9:06 to 9 minutes per mile. Again, simulating being fatigued and locking into that pace at the end of a long workout, okay? So this is a workout you would do after one of those or 2 of those and so on, because since the reps are longer, it's an indication that you're fit enough to take that workout and bring it to the next level, okay? Number 6, a speed development workout. 25 by 400 meters. It's just constant. It's rep. You take a minute recovery, and you're going to progress from half marathon pace down to about 10K pace, which in this case, it's from 2:11 to 2:12 per 400 down to 2:04 to 2:06 or 2:05. So, per 400 meters. And again, good speed development for the marathon, okay? The last one, 10 kilometers at marathon pace, okay? And it's basically a progression from marathon pace to half marathon pace. Okay, so it's 10K, 6.25 miles, and you go from 9:06 to 8:45 per mile. Okay, the fastest, the slowest part of the marathon pace to the fastest part of the half marathon pace. So it's a progression from 9:06 to 8:45 gradual, then you jog an easy mile, and then on the back end you do 10 to 15 times 1 minute hard, 1 minute easy. And the 1 minute hard is generally between half marathon pace and 10K pace. And then the easy is just a steady jog, an easy jog. But it's going to stay active throughout the whole thing. And this gets you turning over from when you're fatigued from doing a long bout. And this is also something you could do. You can do a 10-mile segment and then do 8 or 10 of those on the back end. You can mix things up a lot. This just gives you more options, okay, that you can plug in and out of your training or the training of your athletes. So, anyway, I hope this is helpful. Keep an eye out. I'm going to do workouts for, I already have one out for sub 3:30. It's key workouts. I'm going to do one for sub 3 hours and sub 2:30 as well. I'm also going to do 5K key workouts for sub 18, sub 17, sub 16, sub 15, so keep an eye out for those. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the bell next to it so that you'll know when these videos come out. If you have any specific requests, just drop them down in the comments down below. I'll try to accommodate all requests. And if you happen to like this content and you enjoy these videos, please click the like button. And if you know of anybody who might benefit from this, please share it with them. I want to try to help as many people as possible. All right? So, be healthy, good training. I'll talk to you next time.